Blackout deleted his Twitter and removed me on PlayStation again and just disappeared.
And so, the thumb man who cheated his diet outside Good Springs cheated his diet once again. After the Battle of London, many thought it was the push Richard needed to finally change once and for all. At first, tourists arrived in masses, showing support. Eventually, some got bored. Others left when Richard's true nature inevitably started to show once more. In the new world of Trailer 101, team bullying continued. Pepsi was spilled, and many laughed and enjoyed, just as they had in the old world. Because wings never changes.
I am so tired of fucking video games. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't have a rainbow team tonight, so I was like, all right, what am I gonna do to sit here all by myself? I think that's what I need. I think I just need a break from them. Right? Because, like, I need a break from the buffet, too. What is your picture? Is your picture my weigh-in? Blackout deleted his Twitter and removed me on PlayStation again and just disappeared. If I need money so bad, why not stream daily? I do try to stream daily. I don't hate the Wings 007, man. I mean, like, you look at him and, like, I pity the dude more than I hate him. Like, I find it hard to hate people. The Blackout podcast is coming. Well, we should get Phil on as a guest, but, like, the problem with getting Phil on as a guest is Phil wants to be in control of everything. And, like, I can promise you this. Like, if Phil was to come on the Blackout podcast, it wouldn't be a hit piece like Side Scrollers. Like, Side Scrollers did Phil dirty. You know what I learned the other day? But during, like, slave times, before they sent slaves into the ships, there was this building in Africa that they used to, like, house slaves to kind of, like, prep them before they sent them over the water. And they would starve them to make sure they were a certain weight. And the only way that they guaranteed that they were a certain weight, because they didn't have, like, scales and shit like this, is they had this, like, cast iron, like, door that only if you weighed a certain amount you could fit through. That's how they guaranteed that they could stick as many slaves on the ship as humanly possible to travel across the sea. Like, how can you do this to a person? You know what's funny about all this? Is we have more slaves right now in the world than we did during the transatlantic slavery market. No. First off, he's not a random Twitter user. Like, I'll clear this up myself. Like, here's the issue, right? There's two people called the games attorney, right? There's the guy, Kyle Morrison, which was with, like, the other guy with the podcast. I forgot his name. And then there was the guy, me. Like, the games attorney I was dealing with was one of the guys that helped me get in touch with people at YouTube. He helped me solidify my channel. He helped me get innards and stuff like that to help protect my channel from getting took down on YouTube. Right, yeah, H3. And they both go by the same as the games attorney because, like, because I don't know about the other guy, but the guy I talk with is an actual, like, digital millennium copyright attorney. I'd have to look up what Zionism even is. What is Zionism? A movement for originally reestablished and now developed protection of the Jewish nation. Now it's Israel. Like, why does that have anything to do with H3? I just don't want, like, the games attorney that we dealt with to be dragged through the mud because the guy's a good dude, right? I don't know any ulterior motives he has. He's never done me wrong. He's done nothing but help me out. And I'm not going to sit on the sideline and be like, yo, this person's bad. Because he did nothing wrong to us. He just had control of things that Keem didn't want him to have control of. So we had to hit the restart mark. That's it. Yeah, Keemstar's back in. Like, Muda was in, and I don't know what's happening right there. Because, like, some ordinary gamer was going to be helping us on the back end of this. Is, like, with, like, recording and stuff like that. And apparently him and Boogie don't like each other. And I don't know why. So, like, that, I haven't completely caught up. Why am I ignoring your question? I didn't ignore your question. I stream as often as I know how to be entertaining. And, like, sometimes my streams aren't even entertaining then. Ask Boogie why he's dating a 20-year-old girl. I know why Boogie's dating a 20-year-old girl. I don't need to ask. I got to talk to Boogie because, like, right? Oh, yeah, you know, some ordinary game talk shit about my girlfriend. You want to see my reaction? wait, check out this week's Lolcow podcast. I don't have to fight Blade. Blade's his own worst enemy. Also, if you hate games, have you thought about just doing other remote work? There's other options for when you're not streaming. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. But my biggest issue is, like, I kind of want to leave a house. Like, if I was going to get another form of income, I want it to be something where I don't have to be in this chair. Right? That's the biggest issue. Like, I miss having friends outside of, like, the internet. Like, I miss interacting with people at times. Dude, controllers cost too much fucking money to smash. Like, I broke the only controller I had that wasn't working correctly. I was asking, why is COD so fast-paced nowadays? Like, the old Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4 were perfect. Why can't they get it right again? There's a term that Trump used that said, make America great again. And a lot of people will point out how this is kind of an offensive term, because at what point did you think America was great, right? Was it during Jim Crow? Was it during the times that we put, like, Asian people in concentration camps in World War II? Was it, the 50s and 60s after we had bombed all the European countries and destroyed their abilities to make cars, factories, steel, cut them off from most of the world where America was prosperous and everybody had to buy from American companies because we had the only infrastructure in place? Like, what point do you want to go back to that was so great, right? So America can be great, but, like, we're not doing a good job at it. Well, I'm probably not going to get to that point, John. But it's just like the Palestine thing right now. Like far right-wing people right now are very happy with the whole Israel, Palestine, and how it's going, right? The far right evangelical Christians that are always going to support, the Bible's Holy Land. But, the left wing kind of don't know what to do. And, like, I'm what you call an independent liberal. I tend to skew more left. And, like, right? And like, it sucks that you can't have this opinion because of terrorist, which I hate the term terrorist, but I'm going to use the term terrorist here to be general, right? The IDF and Hamas are both dicks. That's the end of it, right? Hamas is a product of oppression from the Israel government, and the Israel government is a product of religion, and it will basically use every power in its thing to create cultural genocide, because, like, Hamas is like 10,000 people fighting out of the trenches of, like, hospitals and churches for, like, using civilians as cover. And it's even worse is Israel, instead of being the bigger superpower that they are in this situation, right? You have a literal country that's capable of fighting other complete countries with entirely different GDPs, fighting a small ragtag militia in a very small section of their country. And instead of taking its time and being surgical and making smart bombs actually be smart, they'll bomb a fucking refugee camp. Twice. They'll destroy convoys with medicine. Twice. In hopes that they might have had medicine that protected Hamas fighters, right? Twice. Like, the real people that suffer are the Palestinian civilians, right? They're the ones that are getting killed twice. And I look at this as, like, why is my tax money funding this cultural genocide? Because to me, it looks like America is helping fund a second Holocaust. Outside looking in. The point I'm trying to make is Call of Duty's always been fast-paced. It's always been full of shit. Remember when Modern Warfare Call of Duty 4 remake happened? Modern Warfare 4 always had M16 problems. World at War had an MP40 problem. Advanced Warfare had a bow problem, then later a speakeasy. Every Call of Duty game had an issue, right? This is why I always say Black Ops 3 might be the best one. Black Ops 3 and Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion, are the epitome of those games. World at War was not perfect. I'm treading in dangerous waters. I'm not treading in dangerous waters. I'm saying my opinion that America should be, first off, America should be more critical of bombing civilians, right? Can't be like bombing refugee camps to get one person. You're killing 500 people to get one, because if you don't give them that talk it makes you look like you're just funding, a cultural genocide. And like, I don't want to be there. And there's no way I can stop being there, right? Because like 3 out of 12 months of every year, every dollar that I earn pays for that. Taxes. If you add your taxes up, taxes generally for the most average person is about 28%. So 3 out of 12 months of the year, every dollar that you earn goes to the government, and the government uses it to bomb people. Wings, Hamas is hiding hospitals, schools. It's their fault. Israel can't do anything about that. And like I said, Hamas is a pile of shit, right? But the bigger person, right, should have to look at this and be like, yo, we're not going to bomb innocent civilians. And then like create like, I don't know, like, for example, let's use the refugee camp, for example, right? You could very easily go into the refugee camp with the military, surround it, right? And then start getting people out of the camp. And you go through and you check every single one until you find the person you want. Or when he sees that you're doing this, he starts to try to run and get out the camp and has a gun. Boom, there, done. Now you don't have to drop a 500-pound smart bomb and kill children, right? Is that irrational? What if the whole place is rigged to explode? It will be if you drop a smart bomb on it. It's easier said than done. When you don't try, it still makes you look like a dickbag. If you tried to limit civilian casualties and you're obviously making efforts in an attempt to limit civilian casualties, I wouldn't have an issue as much as I do now. But the fact is, they bombed a refugee camp. There was no trying to not have civilian casualties. And like somebody looked at me like I was stupid a couple weeks ago when I said like Israel looks forward to when Hamas attacks them. Because when Hamas gives them a reason to use full force, they greet grief with a smile. They're happy it happens because it gives them a reason not to have a ceasefire. I don't think a ceasefire is the correct call, John Bono. Here's why. Calling a ceasefire right now would mean that Hamas continues another 10 years. They'll live in and amongst the crowd on the Gaza Strip. I say you have to get rid of Hamas now, right? You go through, you get rid of it now. But the route that they're going to do it at right now is deplorable. Like I said, what I suggested said, like, I know Hamas is like 1% of the population, but you very easily could just go into the Gaza Strip and go building by building and slowly comb the entire area, get rid of munitions, get rid of bomb caches, supplies, things like that. It'd take a lot of money and manpower, and you'd probably lose some lives. But Here's the simple thing, right? And you might look at me like I'm an idiot here, right? Israel can have Gaza at any time they want to have it. Palestine does not have the support, the weapons, or the training to stop the IDF from taking anything they want to take. So anything that they have is given with Israel's blessing, for lack of a better word. There isn't a actual conflict. It's not like Palestine can like keep their land with threat of violence. They're just outnumbered. New title, When Idiots Speak. What have I said that's idiotic? What have I said that's idiotic? What would you do differently? God, Chris, I don't know what happiness is, dude. Where would they go? You don't have to refugee them. What I'm saying is you go through every building in Gaza and you get rid of the weapons. Well, dogma. Terrorists I'd rather have a terrorist armed with a rock than a missile launcher. Well, like I think a lot of people just get upset for the reason they just get upset. It's like politics. Like you ever go on anything and it'll be like, they'll blame every situation on Joe Biden. Like I see this all the time. Like I follow a lot of car stuff. Like I'm a big Chevy Silverado guy. I know a lot about Chevy Silverados. So like I stay in areas where like I can bestow my knowledge onto other people, right? And in truck groups, there always will be this old white man that will come out and be like, I had to put $80 into my Chevy Silverado just the other day. I had to go into the cab of my truck and put a Joe Biden sticker right on the pump. And it's like, I know I should never do it, but they get me every now and then where I have to explain to them that Joe Biden doesn't have the pull that you think he has with gas companies, right? Like, it's like explaining to people that inflation is a problem all across the world because we live in a world market now. And it isn't because Joe Biden issued more stimulus checks, which Trump also issued stimulus checks, right? But it had more to do with COVID-19. It had to do with like shipments not going out. Than the fact that there's more money than there are products to buy with that money. So when there's less product, you pay more for each said product. And the way to counterbalance this is you increase interest rates, which makes everything more expensive. And gas, on top of all this, isn't done by America either, right? If you go buy gas in London, which I've had to do that, it's astronomically higher in London than it is in South Carolina. And that's not Biden's fault either. Biden has no control over the gas prices in London. But people want to think one-sided. They want to think small. Stop, Dr. Gray.
Stop.
Yeah.